Moves in, flag goes up from behind. Gates are back and away in racing from the 1,000 metre mark, and if anything, Brave Winter was slow into stride, as well as Solomon Seal and Mad Malicious, who have to race from the back end of the field. Speed Racer towards the inside of the field responded quite well. Was up there in a handy position with Swiss Walt and Donny T. 2020 Visions just racing about 2 lengths off the early pace. Just in behind that is Brave Winter with J Roops. Sitting deep out on the track, the pink sleeves and blue cap of Right Royal Mo's tracked by Underworld. Further back and running to Runway Bomb, deeper out to Mag Malicious and Solomon Seal. Is last of all as it goes past the false rail with just under 400 metres left to go. Speed Racer and Swiss Walt, those two out in front. Now pause on the pressure on the outside is Underworld with Right Royal Mo. Further back to 2020 Vision, who's also starting to make headway. There's plenty of chances. Speed Racer still in front, but now gets tackled by Underworld, who's starting to quicken up smartly on the outside. Speed Racer down the inside, but Underworld quickening up best of all, and Underworld's going to be too good for them. It's a double for Richard Ferree and Justin Snaith. Speed Racer into second. Got close with third and fourth between Tyrion and Lannister, as well as 2020 Vision. The winner, number 11, Underworld, the red, yellow and black silts, probably about 3 from the left-hand side. As you see, Richard Ferree starting to nudge him out. Speed Racer down on the inside, really giving his all, but too smart is number 11, Underworld, bred out by Wilgebos Drift and Richardson Stud Farm and owned by Mr. Cavalier. So a big congratulations to the winning connections here for number 11, Underworld, in race number 3.
Of race 3 was number 11, Underworld, son of Karari from the Snaith Yard. Well done to Leviwe. He's the man responsible for looking after Underworld, and he received his R1,000 thanks to Hollywood Bets and also Cape Racing. Richard, well done for the win.
Thank you, Vicky.
With regards to this horse, watching him go down to the start, he's got a beautiful floating action.
He does, and he's so immature. He dropped his head quite far down, and I was getting a bit nervous, thinking 5 furlong sort of horse, and he never struck me once to be a speed type of horse. And where I was in the race, you know, a bit tricky in the pins, jumped a bit sluggish, recovered well, and you know, he was right up there with the speed, and just still never felt like a 5 furlong horse to me. So asked him through the 400 to quicken, just felt this beautiful elastic action, you know, start stretching, and it's a lovely look as you look at him, and just happy for Mr. Cavalier in Hong Kong. He's going to have a bit of fun with this one. But saying, you know, this is a little bit precocious, so we'll just have to keep steady, quiet hands on him and then grow into a lovely horse. So well done to Snaith Racing, Mr. Cavalier, and obviously my sponsors are winning form. Thank you.
Well done, Richard.
Thank you, Vicky.
There you go, that's Richard, 2 for 2 so far. But well done to the Snaith team, as Justin said to us earlier. I wouldn't say warned us, but informed us to keep an eye on your yard for the day. So well done for the win.
Great, thank you.
He's a lovely horse to watch. He's got the most, as I said to Richard, beautiful action on him.
Yeah, he's very athletic. There's not much of him, and when a horse has got the name Underworld, they can be a little bit difficult.
A bit like Poltergeist.
Yeah, and Devil's a Saint, and I've got a few of them. So, but there's definitely an engine somewhere, and I thought it was a very gallant run. He's come on nicely from his first outing, and very good win. Very happy. Wilgebos, really well done on breeding him. And JP Cavalier in Hong Kong, well done. You know, not the most expensive horse, but the action's there. And with 100,000 BSA sales added stakes, it's the first time I'm actually not embarrassed to send the stakes check to a client in Hong Kong. When Pumalela and Patrick Davis were ready, it was literally, it was embarrassing. It really was. I mean, where our stakes were at one stage, it was really embarrassing. So at least here I can be a little bit, you know, when you send it through, this with all the extra and everything, you got a lot of months free keep. So it gives a foreign owner a good reason to have a horse here in South Africa. So well done to everyone, and to Richard, great little double.
And I think you, just to carry on your conversation with regards to the stake money, that's the wonderful motivation, is that the horses then pay for themselves. You can enjoy the game more as known. Have you felt the effects of that through your yard?
100%, definitely. There was a moment where racing thought that we don't have to give out high stakes to maintain racing. And I know Greg Bortz was the one that was very adamant that that is completely the wrong way to go. And that stakes is what fuels clients to go out and buy horses and things like that. And I mean, you can just see what's happened at the national sales. It makes a big difference. You know, I can't tell you how wrong the thinking was and where we were going. So I think sometimes we forget how bad things were. When they're all of a sudden good, you forget. It's like a bad relationship. So
Sometimes easier to forget.
yeah. Some people go back for a second fight. So just really well done to everyone. A very proud time to be part of racing.
Justin, well done for the win. All the best for the rest of the day.
Great, thanks very much.
But sorry, don't step out. You have to receive the check. You mentioned the R1,000 Bloodstock South Africa bonus check. I'm going to step out of shot. You can just accept that. And as Justin says, a wonderful bonus to the already increased stakes. Well done to Justin Snaith and Snaith Racing. With regards to number 11, Underworld, son of Karari. Well done to Wilgeborst Drift and Ritzfontein for breeding a lovely horse with a beautiful action. And Mr. Cavalier for owning. Wonderful result